episode 1 of this super exponential podcast. I am host number 1, Kevin. You can just call me Kevin. And with me is my co-host, Sarah. Say hi, Sarah.
I also go by just my name. It works well.
Yeah.
It's the sound you scream to identify me.
All right, well, hope you guys are doing good today and all that other stuff. We're going to entertain you a little bit, talk about specific topics. Today we're going to talk about streaming and basically how streaming has become the new cable. So, want to kick it off for us?
Yeah, I looked up some stats to see kind of just the U.S., how many people are streaming, not so much how many as what percentages, and looks like about 74% of people in the United States use a streaming service.
Big question about that is I wonder if those 74%, do they also pay for freaking cable too?
Well, that's the funny part too. It's about 60 to 77% of people use cable and satellite, so definitely some overlap there. So I don't even think that's like this is the only TV they watch.
I really think it's odd that people still use satellite because it's I don't know. It seems kind of weird. It seems like there's a bunch more negatives than positives, at least when we had direct TV when I was living with my dad. But
when I was at my mom's, we had Dish Network and Direct TV for a period of time, and it was fine. When it rained, it was kind of iffy, but the bills were just outrageous. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, and sorry to go off subject, but wasn't it like the whole satellite thing supposed to be like the new thing when it came out? Like, oh, it's going to be so much better and all that stuff. And it seems like, well, no, really, running a cable through your ground is a lot better than having a satellite.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like internet, too. It kind of comes down to your area and what's available there.
Right.
If nothing else is available, satellite will be. It's definitely better than satellite internet.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, man, satellite internet.
That's a scam. If that's all you can get, I guess, you have it.
That's all you can get, then you might as well just get unlimited data or something on your phone and just hotspot it or something.
Yeah.
But, anyways, well, I can tell you right now that I use, how many services do I have? I know I got Hulu and I have Disney Plus. Those two I'm actually paying for. And I am bumming off of my mom's Netflix. And oh yeah, I forgot I got Prime too, even though I barely use that. So
yeah, I have Prime, and I think I've watched one thing on Prime in the last 2 years. I was told to watch something.
Was it The Boys?
No, it was. I think it was some dude like pranking scammers, which I'm sure is just also available on
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the same dude does it on YouTube.
Well, you know how it is. You get a big old phenomenon, and then somebody's going to try to at least try to make money. A big company's going to try to make money off it by picking one guy and just basically saying, "You want your own show?"
And he's going to be like, "Heck yeah!" I have access to, but I've actually not used Crunchyroll. I have a Crunchyroll from someone, and I have a Showtime subscription from someone. I don't use either of them, but I do have access to them, so I guess I should count them. And then I pay for Hulu, I pay for Netflix, I pay for Disney Plus, and then Sean pays for the Amazon Prime every year. So we pay for 4 subscriptions, and one of those we definitely don't even use, which is Prime.
Well, it's just kind of a package deal with that, though. You pretty much have the option to use it or not.
Yeah, it's just kind of already there.
Yeah.
The thing is I don't usually see anything on Prime that I want to watch that's on Prime that wasn't elsewhere.
I'll tell you one though that they really need to work on Apple TV. Because if you go into your Apple TV app and you just look at it, they list all these shows and all that, and then you click on it like, oh, okay, I guess they got it too. Then you click it, and all of a sudden it's like, watch it through Apple TV. Watch it by logging into your Hulu account, or watch it by logging into your Disney Plus account, so you can watch it through Apple TV.
It's just another doorway to the same app.
Yeah, no, really. I'm just like, or I could just click the app, and then that'll be that. It's probably just a way for you to keep everything organized without having to jump to different apps and all that. But
yeah, Apple's all about keep it all on the same interface, so that's probably what they're going for.
yeah, but it at the same time, at least to me, it ain't that much of a convenience to just go into the app
I'm
and do
too
it.
habituated to just suddenly merge everything into one place and use it that way. I'm not going to.
Right. So it's just kind of funny we talk about the streaming because when it first, when it came out, it was like, I think Netflix was the first streaming service, if I'm correct, right?
I'm not sure actually, but we can.
I want to look that up real quick. My point being is they weren't the first; they were the most prominent.
Yeah, because they had DVD. For years, Netflix was just you pick up DVDs through the mail.
That was just it was just.
And I remember
strictly
seeing
movie.
that, and I was like, "That's stupid." There's a video store down the street. That's dumb.
I don't know if I mean, at the time, it was like because Netflix became because they went from doing they did the DVD rentals and then they started streaming, like the movies and stuff. And I guess from there over the years it went from streaming movies to just streaming anything under the sun, pretty much.
Yeah.
It says here, it was Netflix actually, and then right behind it was Hulu.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because those are still like the big two.
It says 2008 Hulu, owned by NBC and Fox. I guess that used to be. I think, what is it? Hulu's owned by Disney now.
Yeah, and NBC has their own streaming service, Peacock, which I haven't checked out, but I think that one's just totally free, so.
Yeah. Okay, so the big thing here is that it's just, I remember looking at a picture someone had posted on Facebook. Well, it was about when that whole net neutrality thing bill was going around, and then there was a picture saying basically like the way we got it now, streaming is just going to become exactly like cable. And I just kind of brushed it off, and then now we're looking at it. A lot of it is becoming the new cable because you're having to buy all these different services and do monthly payments.
Yeah, everybody kind of wants to have, because basically everybody wants their own piece of the pie. Because if they if I'm NBC and I want to stream my stuff and Netflix doesn't want to give me the money I want, and I'm like, well, I can make more money if I run my own streaming service. But now, kind of everyone's just sort of
the thing
running
is
their own stuff.
I mean, yeah, and it's just funny because it's starting to become bloated because I see Peacock. There was another one. I can't even tell you which other ones were. I just know the prominent ones. I know there are recent ones. Like, wasn't Quibi or something like that another one?
Yeah.
And
I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, or something. And it's just like it's getting blown out of proportion now. And even now, a lot of internet services, like, I got AT&T. And they're offering, pretty much with my thing, I get a year, at least I think it's a year of HBO Max for free.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder if that's going to, and I think that's going to become the new precursor. I mean, hell, even Disney, when you buy Disney Plus, you can do the package deal of getting Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
But what sucks about the Hulu is it's the Hulu with commercials.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
They don't have like a bundle option of Hulu without commercials.
Yeah, and that's what makes me mad because I'm like, I looked at it at first and I was like, oh cool, and then it's like, no, it's the Hulu with the the commercials and stuff, and I'm like, no, I just keep paying my $15 for my Hulu
When
premium.
they first came out, they didn't even really I already had Hulu when Disney Plus first came out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I need to actually look up what I pay for it, but oh yeah, I pay $12.95 a month for Hulu. Okay, well, for like 99 cents more, I can get the Disney Plus bundle, and that's pretty cool. So I paid for it because nowhere did it say Hulu with ads. And then when it came time for everything to pull out, I've noticed they're both pulling out separately. So I messaged Disney Plus support, which I'm sure in the first couple months of Disney Plus being out, their support was atrocious. I don't know if it's better now because I haven't needed to talk to them since.
No, I mean the stream
They couldn't even tell me why. They couldn't even tell me why things had pulled out separately at the amounts that they had pulled out. They could give me no information. They were like, well, this is what you paid for with us, so I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yeah, but That's why I'm messaging you.
That's kind of
You're
your
telling me things that I already know.
That's kind of your job to kind of help me out here.
Yeah. So
It probably doesn't help that he was reading off of a script too.
yeah. Well, I did chat support. No, I'm a millennial. I don't like to call people.
Well, no, I mean, you know what? There, in some ways, it's a lot better to chat with somebody than it is with to call them.
I'm a big fan of chat and email now too. After dealing with my cable company.
Well, and the thing is, and I'm not trying to be mean or racist when I say this, but it's just like a lot of the people, it's just they outsource a lot of that customer service and stuff. And then there's some people that you just have a hard time understanding.
Yeah, I don't think it's racist not to be able to understand someone. Certainly, people get racist about their frustration in it. Yeah. I don't think it's racist to not be able to understand an accent.
It's just because it just reminds me of when I was just trying to, like, I was doing a return with Amazon or something. This was years ago. And the dude I just told him, I said, well, it shipped, but it never, I guess it got lost or whatever. And then I guess he was just trying to, I'm going off topic with this, obviously, but going back to the streaming thing, like, do you share it with anybody? I don't know if you answer that or not.
No, because I've got a couple that, have been, like, gifted to me that I really don't use, but I could, they're there. But Hulu and stuff I actually share with boyfriend's mom, because lo and behold, it just doesn't make sense for me not to share them. I work 40 hours a week and have a limited amount of hours in my life, so
I'm kind of glad that these stream servers allow you to like have profiles and stuff, because
it's funny they allow you to have profiles, but they really don't want you to share. But like, you can't stop me.
Yeah, I'm just like,
they've tried.
No, the thing is, it's just like yeah. I'm gonna. They're like, well, you can only. They probably limit it. They if they really want to, they probably limit to the amount of devices that you could have. It
signed in at any given time instead of just all the time,
or even not at the same, whether it's the same time or not. It could be like, well, she signed it at this IP, and that IP.
Yeah, like they can definitely track it.
Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, just why? Because I'm like, I log into 3 or 4 different devices for the same account. That's just me alone. That's not counting what my mom's using my Hulu.
Even from a financial standpoint, it doesn't make sense to police it that heavily, because guess what? If I drop Netflix today. If I drop it today, the boyfriend's mom is going to miss it. And guess what she is going to start paying for if I drop Netflix?
She's going to start paying for Netflix.
Exactly. She's not going to...
So you're really not losing money either way.
You will make back that money because now someone else has had a chance to get... And I'm sure they're going to keep trying. And they'll eventually probably find a way to make it one person per account or some crazy crap.
It'd be so stupid, though. The whole point of streaming was... Because the thing about cable was, it's just like... It was always that saying of, you're paying for all these different special channels, and yet you only watch 1 or 2 of them at a given time.
Because you had no choice. Like, mom liked the History Channel. Well, guess what? The History Channel that she wanted wasn't in the main original bundle. It wasn't in the basic bundle.
So you had
to pay for another 80 channels to go with that channel because it's all package deals.
Yeah, and now it's just becoming to the point now where if we want to watch like a specific show now and we want to stream it, we have to buy that specific streaming service. Like my mom, I think she got CB. Did she get? I think she got CBS Access because she only wanted to watch Picard.
Oh man! So she pays for the whole thing
for Picard, and then she, I would love to watch it. I just don't have the plans to watch it now though. So
well, that's like Disney Plus. Like maybe once a month or once every 2 months, I watch something on Disney Plus. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure the only reason that Disney Plus is a thing that my household has is the freaking Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, here's my thing about it. It's just like the first streaming service that I had, second streaming service was Crunchyroll. That was the second one I ever subscribed to. The first one was Netflix when I was in college. And of course, I ended that because I didn't have a job.
College.
So, but I did get Crunchyroll. And the thing was like I had Crunchyroll for over a year and I had not watched it. Not once during that whole year. And I'm thinking like, I think I'm gonna watch something here soon, so I'll just hold on to it. Oh, somebody told me about this one anime, so I'm gonna hold on to it because I may watch it one day. And it just got to the point where it's like I'm just not going to. Have you ever had that problem where you're like holding on to service, even though you're never going to use it.
I feel like Hulu is definitely that one in my life because I would like to say Netflix is the one, but Netflix has a lot of originals that I've been into and I can list those. But Hulu's definitely it because for a year I've hung on to it to watch Superstore. And now I'll watch Yashahime and be disappointed once a week, which I have to do probably tonight so I can be super disappointed.
I don't understand why you torture yourself watching shows.
You just keep hoping that it's gonna get better, and it hasn't. And I think I need something in my life to be mad about right now. I don't have enough to be mad at. So Yashahime is it. I'm gonna be angry at this anime.
Oh Lord. Well, I guess it's different from I guess it's not that different from Game of Thrones season 1. Was it season 1? No, it was Walking Dead. They said, I think people were saying with The Walking Dead, you had to try to just tear through season 1 and just...
God, you know what? I actually like the early seasons way better than the things that happen later in the show.
Oh, definitely. It seems like usually they hit a point after season 1 or 2 of the shows where it starts getting really good, and then they just start going downhill.
They tried to play up the whole, well, you know what's bad? Yeah, the walkers are bad, but humans are bad too. And then they spent 3/4 of the series showing how bad the humans were. And, Negan was such a cool villain, but after a season and a half of, hey, look at how bad Negan is today, it gets kind of boring.
Yeah.
You took this really cool villain, and you clung to him, and you shoved him down my throat, and now your show is boring.
Yeah, they oh, guess what? I was just browsing through Facebook, and I found another streaming service. The Discovery Plus.
What?
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently there's another one. Whoa. Here's a comment, too. It says, Discovery, shame on you for doing this to your loyal viewers, simply to make more money during a pandemic, holding some of our favorite shows for ransom. I will miss some of my shows, but life will go on. Your greed is disgraceful.
Oh.
That's a strong comment.
Apple actually really enraged everybody around the holidays this year.
What, was the Charlie Brown Christmas special and all that?
Yes, all of the Charlie Brown holiday specials are now no longer being aired on basic TV, which, okay, here's the thing. Growing up, we didn't have cable. We didn't have satellite. My family was dirt poor. We had 7 channels, and we had a program called Outside. Now I sound like a boomer, but that's literally, this is what we did. So around the holidays, Charlie Brown coming on at prime time. Whoa, it's a cartoon and it's 8 o'clock at night. My mind is freaking blown. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Watch Charlie Brown. But now it's Charlie Brown is available for free on Apple streaming service, assuming that your family has the internet, which a lot of people do have the internet now, but there's still people who don't. Especially in our area, the rural internet setup is completely, it sucks. They are stuck with HughesNet or nothing. The stuff that they can get is expensive. And guess where a lot of really poor people live? In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that you're not going to stream with the streaming speeds with the speeds that you get off of those from those people. So it's I could tell you from having DSL Extreme before my dad finally got fiber. Oh boy, DSL Extreme was terrible.
What was the last year you had dial-up in?
Dial-up?
Do you remember the last year that you had dial-up in your house? If ever.
We had, we got it when it was the 56K?
Yeah.
Yeah, 56K. That was when it was Bell South.
Yeah.
How about that for a relic? So
the last year we had dial-up with Bell South was 2005 when I moved to this area.
Wow, really?
Because DSL in the area that I was living at the time was triple the price of dial-up.
Yeah,
and dial-up was $80-$90 a month.
Yeah. Which
is crazy for 2005 if you think about it. That's expensive.
That should have been less than that.
Yeah, but it was a small town and there was only one provider. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember. I do know that we stuck with Bell South for a good bit. We stuck with them with the dial-up. And then I don't know if they're still Bell South when they got DSL.
I think they were for a little bit. AT&T sort of. Yeah, because we had DSL under Bell South. because we had a family Bell South email address.
You're right. Well, the thing was, is just like what I do know is that as soon as DSL was a thing, that was when my dad had gotten it. I don't know what the circumstances on why he decided to get it.
So he adopted too pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty more or less. So
he jumped on that DSL.
Yeah, I think so.
A good decision.
Not to mention because I think he was getting tired of having to. This is still at the time when I think you still had to not be on the phone.
Yeah, you would have to have a separate line if you wanted to be on the phone and use DSL or dial-up. You'd have
there
to
was
have
just
two
some
lines.
Back in the day, man. You had to do some crazy workarounds. Like you got a second line in our house. As a matter of fact, I still remember the last four of our number was 9515. That was our second line in our house, and I was just thinking, so that way we could make calls and be on the internet. But eventually, he got rid of that. Once DSL came out, you could.
And it was kind of expensive to even have the second line, like at that point, because that's why we got DSL. When we moved to the area, we were like, well, we can get faster internet, and it is about the same price as if we were to get two phone lines. Because I live in the kind of house where you sit down with your freaking 14-year-old and you're like, God, what financial decision should we make today?
Yeah, I know, really.
It's super weird, but at the same time, at least it made me a very responsible buyer.
Yeah. It was just, going back to the whole streaming thing, though, it's just like, I think what they're thinking of is just trying to, go with the majority. Most people have internet, so, but I don't know, to lock out shows, like, strictly take it off of TV and then put it on your streaming service instead. It's just, well, the thing is everybody's doing that now. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. It's just...
It's kind of how they bait you into the streaming service by having... Well, because look at the reason I have Netflix. The Netflix originals.
Yeah.
I want to watch Disenchantment. I want to watch Dragon Prince. I want to watch Stranger Things.
Right.
We can't watch them anywhere else. And that is what has kept me on Netflix. I want to watch Nicolas Cage talk about cuss words. I want to watch this Deaf to 2020 documentary. It's all on Netflix exclusively. Netflix didn't have these things, I wouldn't watch Netflix. There's not really stuff I watch on Netflix that I can't watch anywhere, that I could watch anywhere else.
Right. Has it gotten better or worse for us ever since streaming became a thing? Like, streaming is convenient, don't get me wrong. But as far as like greed and practices go, is it a worse thing because now we're having to get select, because everybody's, like you said, they're hoarding these shows and stuff to the point where even you can't watch it on cable. You have to get this service to watch this show. And there are a lot of people that are like, no, I just watch one show and all that, but now I got to pay $15 a month. Well, the good thing about it is you can cancel.
Yeah,
you're not beholden to them.
As of now, there is no contract agreement for subscription services.
And you're not, at the moment, you're not beholden to them. It's just like you can cancel as simple as saying, I'm done.
What satellite and cable almost always has like a contract agreement.
Yeah, you have to.
You're going to pay for this for 2 years, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's either that or if you do decide to get out, you got to. Sometimes they don't do contracts, but you still got to get out within a certain period, or you end up having to pay for the rest of the month, even though they turn it off.
And they'll have like cancation fee.
Yeah, and it's
equipment rentals. Like, they'll get you if you cancel before they're expecting you to.
And the funny thing, there's only a certain date range where of 2 or 3 days where you can cancel, and if not, you end up paying, still paying for the whole month, even though you stop midway, or you end up paying for the next month, even though you canceled, canceled it. It was just weird. Thankfully for now, you can just, as simple as, you can watch whatever you want to watch and then cancel it.
Yeah, and maybe you might have paid ahead for a month and canceled, but you're not out as much money.
Right.
You've got options.
It's just weird how it looks like it's going towards where we're going to have to get package deals on all these different services and stuff. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if within the next couple of years we see like AT&T with their AT&T TV be like, get all the channels here, and then plus get free access to HBO Max, Hulu, and Netflix and all that. I
think a bunch kind of already are starting to bundle that way, but it almost sort of makes sense if you watch a lot of TV.
Yeah. Which
I don't. I work too many hours to watch the streaming services that I have. So that's not a problem I have. But I guess if I was at home more, I'd watch more TV.
Do you know the thing is the funny thing is just like I still think even with all you having to buy all these a month, like say you had Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, all that, you're still probably paying less than you would for cable.
I did the math a minute ago on how much I spend, including Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I think Prime's still like $99 a year. So including Prime, give or take a little bit for taxes, I'm spending $42.81 on streaming services.
A month.
A month.
And that's compared to cable, which can get up to around.
Yeah, because basic cable's not going to have everything I want to watch.
Yeah.
3/4 of what was on cable was freaking info commercials.
Those infomercials were kind of funny though late at night.
It was, but like, God, imagine you spend
I just thought
$50 a month to just
you,
change the channels.
Yeah, I know. I still remember when it was you were just trying to find something to watch and you were just flipping through channels and you went through your whole rotation of channels like at least 3 times.
I mean, I still do that with streaming services though. You'll sit on the Netflix menu and you don't know what to watch, but you feel like you want to watch TV, but before you know it, you've spent an hour on the freaking menu.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the service's fault. That's just our fault as humans.
I just think that's more of a personal.
It's a very human thing
it's a
to
very
do.
personal problem. You can't really blame you can't blame the streaming services for that.
Yeah.
For like, but
for our own indecision. Like,
yeah, I know. Oh,
it's I feel like it's just a very human thing because I don't know anybody who hasn't done that at some point.
oh yeah, you're just sitting there at the menu.
I know people who won't admit to it, but they're the same people who are like, I don't watch the news whatsoever, and I'm like, you definitely consume news media in some fashion.
Yeah, it's
You don't avoid it entirely, otherwise you wouldn't be able to talk about anything currently going on in the world. You definitely consume it in some fashion.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how much I pay for, because I don't know, after a while you just have a general idea of what gets drawn out of your account. With me it's just usually, for me it's just Hulu, Disney Plus, then other stuff.
I mean, full disclosure, I literally had to look through my account to get these numbers because I don't pay attention that often.
No, well the thing is,
now that
like,
I'm at a point in my life where $7 does not overdraft
oh yeah,
me.
it's so funny because it's just like you're thinking like I'm not saying that I make a lot of money, but I'm at the point in life where
$7 isn't a big deal anymore.
Like,
frick yeah.
Like, well, the big thing is just that I always get an email from my bank whenever something gets charged to my card, an online payment or whatever.
God, if I got an email for everything, I wouldn't even pay attention to those emails.
Well, it's just kind of a good idea to know, just in case, so that way you can
just ignore the emails.
Where did this 4182?
I do look at my bank statements.
Yeah,
though. Like
yeah.
I go in damn near once a day and see what my bank account looks like.
Yeah, and then so that way.
I'm obsessed with the amounts of money I have. Even when I have enough money to blow, I'm still just a person who's really obsessed with those kind of things.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, it's just fun. It's just funny. It's like I got so many. I don't even have the patience to look through some of this stuff, honestly. Because so Hulu I'm paying $12.95 for, so there's that, and then I believe Disney Plus, if they charge me,
You're probably still paying like $7 something for it.
yeah, really is it? And then of course I do the monthly Amazon plan because I don't feel like dropping $99 instantly right at the moment. I keep telling myself that I'm going to do it eventually, so that way I don't have to worry about it. But I just keep forgetting. I'm just like,
every month you just drop that. Yeah,
it's like, well, so basically it's $15 for my Amazon Prime, and I believe
Disney is just like shy of $8. So
yeah, I think it's just do $8 because I can't find it on here right now.
So you're spending about $35. Maybe close to 36.
Yeah, and considering that I don't watch them much, I think that's still, again, not saying I have so much money to blow over, but
if you think about it, that's a whole damn pizza. That's not just a pizza. That's not a pizza on sale. That's like a really good pizza.
That's a really good pizza, and you can get it delivered.
Yeah.
So
that's your pizza plus your freaking delivery. Now you can't watch anything while you eat that pizza in your dark house.
Yeah, but you can watch YouTube because that's free as far as for the time being.
If you don't pay for the ad-free YouTube.
They have an ad-free YouTube? Was that YouTube Red?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I just cannot bring my. What the funny thing is just I get so frustrated with watching those ads on YouTube, and yet and then it's just like I keep forgetting that YouTube Red is a thing, but at the same time, I'm like, do I really want to?
Like, I don't want to give them money because I know what they do to their creators. But God, at the same time, I'm really sick and tired of seeing PragerU.
Yeah, it's just it drives me nuts because now I'm just like, oh, thank God this ad is over, and then another one pops. It's like ad one of two. I'm like, please end it. It's like torture.
And sometimes if you skip, you can skip them, but you have to skip them at just the right time. And if you don't skip them within like the first couple seconds, you're stuck. You have to watch the whole rest of the ad. Fuck you. Watch this ad.
And
the ads are getting weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's our algorithms that are messed up. But like, I feel like Sean and I today, especially, we were watching something on YouTube, and it was like some old people ads. It's this guy who's like, you can take a shot of olive oil every day and lose weight.
So here's the thing. The funny thing about those ads, clearly YouTube doesn't curate all the ads that show up on people's videos. You know, whenever you
no, because they definitely don't do a good job of it.
No, when the PlayStation 5 got announced, within like that week, there are already ads for quote unquote beta testers needed for the PlayStation 5. It wasn't but the thing was, it wasn't it's obviously a scam. But I'm like, how is it that this scam ad playing through this dude that's a legit YouTuber, how is it that they're able to get this,
Yeah, how have they not pulled this ad? Like,
yeah, it was like, it's a legit ad, like, click here for more information on how to be a beta tester for PlayStation 5, knowing that, it's a scam.
Like, it's straight up fucking unethical. And it's weird to me that YouTube doesn't seem to have any kind of way to handle that.
And the funny thing is that people, those companies say, well, we need ads to make money. And I'm like, the reason people hate ads is because, from the beginning, they were always intrusive. And second off, a lot of those ads are scams. So you're telling me you need ads to make money, yet you can't curate you can't curate proper
you can't
ads.
Put better ads.
I wouldn't be so mad if it wasn't for the fact that these ads were...
They're terrible.
They're terrible.
Like, PragerU is a great example because PragerU makes ads. Okay, PragerU is also not a freaking university. They're a right-wing propaganda machine. They have an ad about how not bad slavery was. That's not exactly the context. I'm not giving you the correct context. Whatever. They have ads that are basically like, oh, so you want minimum wage to go up. And it's like a 20-minute ad. And these ads will be on any video. Like, you can look at, like, maybe you like a leftist pundit. Maybe you want to watch a leftist on YouTube. And PragerU will have an ad on their video telling you why you don't want minimum wage to go up. What the hell?
I would say, based on how this pandemic, the pandemic and how a lot of those people that work minimum wage jobs still had to work out, they're exposed. I said they most definitely need a raise.
Oh God, yes.
But
I mean, just the fact that it hasn't went up in over a decade and prices still went up.
Yeah. Like,
stuff definitely cost more than it did when I first made $7.25.
Well, my thing is just like with, going off topic with the.
I do love the ads though. It makes no sense. Why are you showing me right-wing propaganda? Why are you wasting money on this 20-minute long right-wing propaganda ad to air on a video of somebody who is directly against this, will not ever agree with your ideology? You could give me a 35-minute presentation, PragerU. I still disagree with your ideology, and seeing that ad does not make me suddenly go, oh, maybe they are right. It doesn't work. You're spending money on something that doesn't work.
Not to mention that in the first place, you don't really, the content creator doesn't even choose the ad. They just...
Yeah, which is even worse, I think, because you put this out into space and you have no say about...
we won't be able to tell because, we don't even, from other people, from what I heard, they don't even know how the algorithm works. So it'll be interesting to see once we get this out there, at least on YouTube and Spotify and all that.
What kind of ads?
What kind of ads play?
Our audience wants to
hear. Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like, look, if I see an ad about a freaking, I don't know, weight loss or something, I'm gonna be like, I have most definitely not talk about weight loss in this thing.
God, the funniest thing about the weight loss ad I saw today, with the take a shot of olive oil every day, is it's a freaking science channel that they show this ad on. Because, your average person who is watching this science channel, interested in all of this science, probably is going to look at that and go, yeah, no, I'm not going to take a shot of olive oil every day to make me lose weight. That's the stupidest thing I've heard in my life.
Not to mention it sounds gross.
Yeah, like, do you want to just have diarrhea every day?
Yeah.
I mean, you could shit the weight off of yourself.
That's probably the whole goal.
Some temporary water weight
I mean,
reduction.
no, it's funny because then the only thing that's coming out of damage is your fucking anus and shit.
Yeah. For
Talk
some temporary water weight. That's
talk about a blown anus is basically what that's gonna.
But it's like there are videos that you could run that ad on, and you would, I guess, make money telling people to take a shot of olive oil. It's weird. Like, I would, as an advertiser, I would be annoyed if I couldn't direct my ads in a place where they would be meaningful. On Facebook, when you run a page, you can direct your ads to at least try and hit the demographics and stuff you want to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be irritated to be a YouTuber, advertiser, maker, person.
It just seems like they just kind of just say, you want to monetize your video, yes, and then that's it. You don't, and then they just say, we're just going to throw whatever person buys ad space, and we're just going to throw. The funny thing about it is that then the advertiser is like, so why is my video playing on this ad? I'm going to pull out of it. I'm like, then why was it playing in the first place?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I don't know. We will, once we actually get a couple episodes uploaded, it'll be interesting to look at and see, what ads are playing.
If they'll monetize us at all.
If they'll monetize us at all.
I think they monetize everyone by default, but like...
But then somebody's going to just...
Oh, God, we get that 5 cent a month check.
I know, really.
Cha-ching.
Put it into the super exponential bank account.
I got a $10 check from Target today.
For what?
I don't know. There was some class action suit with the red cards or something.
Right.
So I got $10 whole. I didn't even care. I was like, Target can have my info.
Where's my $10? I have a red card and I work for them.
Dude, what's messed up is I didn't even opt into this class action suit. I got a letter like 6 months ago that said something about it, and I was like, whatever, this goes in the floorboard of my car now. And then this morning, Sean hands me this thing, and I open it up, and it's a check. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is from that. I didn't even opt in. Why are they... And I don't have, like, the credit card. I have the debit card.
Most of the time, whenever I get a mail about a class action lawsuit, it immediately goes into the shredder, because I'm just like, I just don't have the patience to read this.
Get a $10 check. Read them more, you'll get $10 checks.
Oh, jeez.
Read them and do nothing like I did, and you'll get a $10 check. $10 whole dollars.
Oh, man.
$10. I had to deposit that. Wait, that's why we had Taco Bell today. I was like, baby, I'll get you something nice.
Oh, man, we got money. Even it wasn't a stimulus check, but shit. We could go to Taco Bell.
I got my stimulus.
I got
my stimulus in time to miss a bunch of work and need the stimulus to make up for that gap.
You know what the funny thing is? I'm still waiting for my stimulus check. Only because, and I'm mad at, I'm really essentially, you remember the whole situation that happened. I had to close my bank account as soon as I did my taxes because some guy that was taking the mail, one of the mail drivers apparently ripped the bottom of my envelope off with my routing number and with the check that was in there, and then I had to close my account because I'm like, well, shit. I was mailing a check to the guy who used to do my lawn, and then he just texted me that day, and it was just like, yeah, this came in the mail, and it was just like the bottom half of the envelope along with the bottom half of the check ripped off.
Yeah, the important parts.
The important part. So I'm like, well, I guess I gotta go. And this was when the pandemic was in full fucking force. So I was scared because I was like, I need to go close this account immediately. And of course I'm panicking because it's 4 PM. I'm thinking like, oh God, Bank of America is like, it's closed, isn't it? Because I was like, all it takes is one day for somebody to... I didn't know whether this person was a genius or not. Apparently they weren't a genius because I don't think anything came of it, but... Yeah,
because, I mean, probably it just ripped and it was swept away into the garbage and it's gone now.
So, but either way, it was just like, better be safe than sorry. So I closed the account and all that. Then they said they were bringing out stimulus checks. And I'm like, oh, great.
Just in time.
Just in time for me not to immediately get it because... that account is closed. So, but I did get the first stimulus check.
Why don't millennials like using checks? This is why.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why.
But, anyways, yeah, that whole situation was so. But now I'm still waiting for this next stimulus check, and I've just gotten to the point where it's just like I'm just gonna forget about it, and then it's gonna be like, oh, $600. I forgot about this. What a surprise.
It's like it's nice, but I didn't need it at first. Now I did end up kind of needing it, but it was bonus money.
Yeah.
When somebody in my financial position gets bonus money, we're gonna blow it, which is great for the economy.
You know, my dad had something interesting to say. Was that we absolutely need to be, because the main idea is to stimulate the economy, right?
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you do need the people to blow their money.
Yeah, they need us. They need us people who aren't in dire straits to go, wow, $600. Let's
technically, those politicians that are quote unquote saying, well, we don't need that much money because you're just going to blow it on. That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point.
That's the point. I'm going to go buy something stupid. I'm going to tip extra when I go out to eat during the pandemic, in which I shouldn't be going out to eat. When I go to Olive Garden, I'm going to be able to give her 2 20s.
Why would you give that? Well, no.
I love tipping big.
I love tipping big too.
One of my dreams in life, and me and Sean have discussed it at length. We want to be well off enough to where we can just drop the occasional $100 bill on a tip. I don't know. This is like my sick, twisted millennial life goal. Be able to tip $100.
Hey, you know what? You know what the sad thing about that's going to be is that the person you tip is going to be that one person that's like, oh, so you think I'm fucking poor that I need this fucking money? Huh? You think I'm
one person who takes it the wrong way?
It's just like, no, dude. We just really want to. It's like you're paying forward, and then they don't appreciate it. Not saying they're just like they take it the wrong way. Like, dude, no, I'm not trying to say that you look poor. Oh, it's because I look like I haven't cut my hair. I'm just like, dude, you're overthinking this, man. I just really wanted to give you $100. Oh, well, fuck you. I don't need your $100. Okay.
I'll give it to someone else.
No, just give it to someone else then.
But
could you imagine a waiter blowing up on you like that?
No, I can't, because that's not even something I've ever thought about until you just said it. Like, I've never been like, oh, they're gonna be pissed because I'm tipping them good. I'm just like, those times when I worked retail and people tipped me, I appreciated it. I hope they appreciate it too.
The only reason that popped up in my head was because of that one movie called I think it was Waiting, that had Dane Cook and some other people.
So you're getting life advice from Dane Cook?
No, definitely, most definitely not. No. It was about I can't remember. I think it was called Waiting, and I think it starred Dane Cook, Ryan Reynolds, and some other people. It was one of those little not the same person, but like kind of the same mindset of Kevin Smith type deal. Those type of movies, and basically towards the end, the guy that was he was gonna get. I think the tipping point, he met a dude because he was working. He was a general manager at the restaurant the movie took place in, and then a guy towards the end of the movie, a guy came in to eat with his wife or whatever. That he was big success. He knew him from school or whatever. He was big successful, and here he is working the thing. The guy, he started treating him nicely, did everything. The guy gave him $100 tip, right, and then the thing was like, oh, I think you gave me the wrong change. He was like, no, that's for you. It's like, why? It's just like, it looks like you needed it.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's kind of a douchebag way to tip somebody $100.
Yeah, I know, and then that's what made me think about that scenario. So I'm not saying that every waiter's going to think of it like that, because I think now
if you deliver it like that, I guess absolutely.
Look, if somebody gives me, I guess to me personally, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. Me personally, if somebody gives me $100 tip, I'm not going to care why. It's a fucking $100.
Like, I got a couple times when I worked at the battery store, like a $20 tip.
Yeah.
And that was great. I was like, hell yeah. And you know what I did with that $20 tip? I usually tipped someone else part of it.
Yeah, I know, really.
I would go get pizza and tip like $10 on my carry out, and they're like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, I got tipped, so you have this money.
So awesome.
I have this money. But I want to be well off enough one day where I can just fucking
just help
tip the hell out of somebody.
I just think to do that would be helpful. You're not, at least you're doing it for a good reason. I think with the way money works these days, it's just like if you're tipping someone in a certain amount, it's because you truly want, you truly want to, especially now that we know how people are more aware of how the food industry works and all that.
It would be nice if it didn't work that way, but I feel like if you're going to go out and participate in the food industry by patronizing them, then
you need to tip them.
Yeah. like, I am completely content with people who disagree with tipping, but then you don't go out, don't participate in the industry.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's like if you don't agree with tipping, then don't go anywhere that tipping is that there's an option to tip. Not even
Yeah, if they're
because
not
all it's gonna do
automatically
because
putting
all
that
it's gonna get to the
gratuity.
point all it's gonna do is get to the point where they're gonna make tipping mandatory. And at
A
that
lot of places do.
yeah, and if it comes to that, you might as well just go on ahead and pay them a regular wage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be easier for everyone involved.
Yeah. So we got off topic.
It's cool. If we really feel it's that bad, we'll just edit it out.
Yeah,
and make
but
it like
you know what?
quick
No,
bite
I
on
really
tipping.
don't care if we got off topic or not. I think that's kind of the general idea of chatting. This is the podcast where we talk about something and we're talking to y'all as if we're in a big group and stuff. And subjects change sometimes. Like I said, ADHD and all that
We
stuff.
already pretty much covered most of streaming stuff anyway.
I didn't. The only thing. What did I want to say about? What do you think the future of streaming is going to be like now?
Probably bundles.
Bundles, you think?
I think more bundles. Like, look at Disney Plus Hulu bundle. As crappy as that went for me, it's still, viable option for tons of families.
I think it's a viable option. I think they would stay into, I wouldn't mind doing the bundle even though I don't watch ESPN, but that would give a way for me to give my dad my ESPN stuff if they would only include a bundle with Hulu Plus in it. You know what I mean? Or I guess Hulu without the.
I would absolutely just drop the ESPN entirely just to have commercial-free Hulu.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing right now. I'm paying for Disney Plus by itself, and I'm paying the 12 something for Hulu, so which is fine. But yeah, I think in the future, I think in the next couple of years, we're going to see a lot of bundles and stuff, and to the point where it's just like, oh, you want to, like, you can buy them separately, but maybe some places will have a package deal or whatever.
It's funny too because what streaming was born from the fact that cable was such a broken system, but at the same time we're sort of retreating back to that broken system.
But it's not so much. It's really just it comes down to money. They see a market, people are going to try to take advantage of it. Oh, people will buy a streaming service for one show? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you what all is on CBS Access, but I can tell you the only shows that I'd be mildly interested in are Star Trek Discovery and Picard. That's it. Although I'm a little stingy with my money, so of course I'm not going to do that. But if my mom still has it, and I one day get curious, I'm probably going to ask her for her account information
I
and
think
stuff.
Netflix even has like a shuffle option now where it just curates shows for you and shows them at random instead of you picking what to watch, which, wow, we've circled right back to cable in some
again,
ways.
yeah.
But I guess, with the convenience of you don't need a DVR and you can watch what you want when you want to watch it.
You know what the channel that I think I spent on average the most time on, in a way, if you do the math around it, was the channel, the TV Guide channel. The one that basically just showed you what was on it.
Yep.
And you're just like, well, not watching.
Genius.
And the funny thing is, like, even though it feels like that channel was created for the purpose of not for people to not skip channels, and guess what you did? You stayed on it for a few minutes, and then you went to that channel, and then you started skipping channels again to just keep going.
Yeah, you just end up right back on the TV Guide channel.
Yeah, I know, really. It's just like...
Genius.
Yeah, I know. But I do feel like I spent a lot more time on the TV Guide channel than necessary.
Yeah, I definitely was on the TV Guide channel a lot. It's like, oh, what's on? What do I want to watch? And then they had like mini shows on the TV Guide channel.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
trivia.
Yeah, exactly. That was
They were like,
cool.
we know what you're about. We know you're here to stay here all day.
You want to know what my most memorable thing about cable is, though?
Oh, yeah?
And this is where the pervert in me comes out. We attempted to watch like the Playboy channels and stuff, even with the squiggly, even though the thing were like squiggly lines.
Yeah, because you didn't pay the extra for it. So they would have the sound, and there's like porn stars going, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah. It's all just colors.
Yeah, it's all colors and waves and stuff. And you're just like, the thing is just like, when you're, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. When you're a kid and you're just looking at that, any other person would probably give up. But me, I'd be like, I saw something. I might be able to see it. I might be able to see it again if I watch it for another 5 minutes.
And that's when you realize that chartreuse was a fetish.
A what?
Chartreuse, the color.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse, the color. You
What?
realize that was a fetish.
Oh God.
Now every time you see that color, you like feel some type of way, and you don't really know why, and that's why. God, Freud would have a field day with this.
Freud would have a field day nowadays with the. Does Pornhub have a streaming service?
I mean, the whole site is streaming.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know if they have like a curated app. Well, we can find out.
No, they can't. If it's an app, it's obviously not going to be available on any of the stores.
What would Freud do?
What
I
would,
bet it's available.
Are you kidding me? Freud would have a field day. Do you know the amount of incest porn there is now?
Let's find out if Pornhub has an app. Let's find out.
Yeah, obviously not on Google, but it'd probably be like one you can download.
Might be on Apple.
Huh?
Might be on Apple.
I don't know if it's on Apple. I think it would be an app, but it would be.
There's a sex positions app, 3D, but there's not a Pornhub app. Kiss Kiss, Spin the Truth or Dare, Lifestyle for Men. Are you kidding me?
Like, I think if there was an app, and I say this only because usually a lot of times
games free.
Like, there'd be an Android app, and they wouldn't have it on the Google Play Store, obviously.
Yeah, but you can download it from their website.
Yeah, from their website and all that, and then just all it would be like, you're about to download an app from an unknown source, blah blah blah, and then you just install it and stuff.
Why doesn't Pornhub? This is wrong. Pornhub should have an app in the Apple App Store.
You want to make a petition about it? Change.org.
Yes.
It's
yes,
like,
I do.
We want to force Pornhub to have their own app, and by turn we want to force Apple to have this app on the store.
They're a good guy company, and people use Pornhub. People watch porn on Pornhub.
Recently they did a big change.
Why not have an app to be able to view it easier?
They made a big change to Pornhub, right? Only verified accounts can post videos now.
It makes sense for quality.
It makes sense for quality, and of course
Didn't people use it for piracy?
Yeah, people still use it for piracy. There's still other sites out there.
Because you could watch like Rick and Morty on Pornhub.
Right. I did. Guess what? I did watch Thor Ragnarok on Pornhub.
That's the spirit.
I'm not joking.
We saw it in theaters.
I watched it. I didn't get the chance to watch it in theater, and I did buy the DVD. But I was just like, I saw it one day, doing my educational browsing as I would on Pornhub, and it was just there on one of the newest videos, and it was like Thor. They named it something else, obviously. They named it like Thunder God impales something or another, trying to make it sound like a sex film. But it was just the full movie. So I was just like, well, fuck it. I was like, let me see if they threw a porn video in there somewhere. It's like, nope, that was a whole Thor Ragnarok movie.
They do have an Android app. Pornhub has an Android app.
And I have not downloaded.
I mean, I think as a society, we're past the point of people being like, oh no, but someone will see that I have the Pornhub app on the Pornhub app on my phone.
Number one,
we're past the point of that because now everybody just is straight up like, yeah, I watched the porn. It used to be you would tell nobody. You get your tape. You wait for like no one to be home. Even like grown people who live with just other grown people and no children in the house would be all covert and secret about watching porn. Now everybody's like, man, I watch porn.
Well, yeah, because when you get older, it becomes a less of a. It basically comes down to you're not supposed to watch porn until a certain age.
Well, yeah, I mean, like even among adults though, the way adults are about porn now versus the way adults were about porn like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
you wouldn't admit to watching
changed.
Porn, and now
but
everybody's like, I watch it.
It is still kind of funny though, because I'm like, the one thing that I did whenever, I was still living with the parents and all that, was if I was watching it, I would have headphones on. When I finally moved out, had my own place, I still wore headphones, even though it was unnecessary.
You're like, I could watch porn wherever, but...
So it took me a year into living here to finally realize, hey, maybe I can take my headphones off now.
I don't have to keep my porn a secret.
Yeah.
I can watch it in the living room. I can watch it in the kitchen.
So just imagine if... So going back to the package deals for streaming, just imagine if you they had a package deal, right? And then you get a little envelope saying, we also include Pornhub streaming for free. You get free access to that, but don't tell anybody. So sincere so-and-so, the president of AT&T.
I need to get the Pornhub app on my Android tablet and see if it works with my Chromecast. Can I send those porn videos straight to my TV?
Well, that would be so funny to do that while just have Sean playing a game or something, and then just send that shit to the TV and put the max volume, and then
you act like this is something that we've never done in our house. It definitely is.
What have y'all not done? That's the bigger question.
It's a good question.
Well, I'd say that wraps it up. That was an episode.
Yeah, we got straight into porn.
It's gonna be funny if every episode where we talk about something intellectual and the bookend is we go right back to porn.
We go straight to Pornhub.
Go right
Every
back.
discussion leads. All roads lead to Pornhub.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like going down a YouTube rabbit hole. You're looking up cute videos. Next thing you know, you're seeing a mass of otters drown a monkey. That has happened.
It's a hell of a rabbit hole.
I don't know, because every time you look at the sidebar, you're like, oh, cute cat video. Oh, what's this? Otters. Okay. And then you click on the otter video, and then you click on the zoo video, and then you click on a video that shows monkeys harassing one otter, and then a bunch of otters coming from everywhere else and drowning the poor monkey.
We're just gonna go down a YouTube rabbit hole. That's gonna be a whole episode. Just describe what we see.
I know, really.
That could be.
I'm pretty sure they have a version of like the Wikipedia rabbit hole where it's like how many articles does it take to get to a certain point or whatever, like to get from. You got to start with like nuclear something or another and try to get to Nicolas Cage or something.
Yeah.
Within a certain amount of article clicks and all that. I can't remember what that site was.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
I don't care what anybody says. He's a fucking hero.
Kesha has a Nicolas Cage song. Some Nicolas Cage shit.
I like how Nicolas Cage went from being, a decent actor to being made fun of to being still a decent, not good actor, but everybody loves him. Not on the level of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, but they love him now.
Yeah, I know they do.
We all like Nicolas Cage. We stand
like
that
I love Nicolas Cage too. I don't really care at this point.
Like, we don't know why we love Nicolas Cage, but we do.
Yeah.
Can't really put my finger on it.
Hey, I'm gonna say it. I like The Italian Job. He was in The Italian Job, right?
I don't remember.
I think he was.
If you want him to be, he probably was.
He probably was.
If you remember him being in it, then that's...
I think he was. Anyways, we'll just do another episode. We'll do another episode one day dedicated to Nick Cage.
Just Nicolas Cage.
Let's just find his birthday, and then we'll just do the Happy Birthday Nicolas Cage podcast episode.
And then we need to use that Kesha song. We have to use a clip from it.
Like, we have to use like 2 seconds of it so we don't get content ID.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I could probably get her to give permission. Just reach out to Kesha. Please give us permission.
Can we use 2 seconds of your song in our intro to our podcast?
Nicolas Cage shit.
And then we still get content ID even though we just proved it. We bought it.
You're like, I got Kesha's special blessing and everything.
Oh, man. Well, this is a fun episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We will see y'all next time. Goodbye.